K.
And it's your girl TK. How y'all doing?
We are on episode number 52 of the Ops. We're telling it all. I mean,
56.
56. Oh, why did I say 52?
I don't know. I
I'm
was
going
wondering
bad right now.
myself.
Yeah,
I was
episode
wondering myself.
56 of the Ops. We're
Mm.
telling it all.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great show tonight. Of course, you probably already saw the flyer that I had out that states, um, did Jill deserve the backlash for her support of Chris Brown? We'll be talking about that along with other topics. Of course, for every episode we have who you're telling on. So who are you telling on this week, TK?
Man, let me tell you something. We telling on, and I say names. So we telling on the dealership that has my current vehicle and have had it since April 2nd. So as probably our viewers that are loyal to us have heard me mention the hit and run accident that I was involved in on January 4th, right, of this year.
Okay.
Took me a couple of months to get into the dealership to get my car fixed, although I found out the insurance paid them back in January. So I finally get to talk to someone that has some sense at the beginning of the month, and took my car on April 2nd. Called a week later just to check on, things.
Mm-hmm.
They say it's in paint. And as somebody
Okay.
that's worked at a car dealership, I know what that means. The cars are never just literally in paint. Well, maybe in a collision. We weren't full collision where I was, so maybe so. But they were talking about my door because they had to replace my door and all that.
Okay.
So that was the stats I get. So I give them 2 more weeks. I'm in a rental, of course. My insurance, I'm really in good hands. Um, they are paying for my rental, but that expires at some point. They're not gonna do it forever, right?
Correct.
So I called yesterday to get an update. They can't find my car.
What?
Can't find it.
Like you lost the whole car?
Like, did you even bring it in? Type ish. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. And I would, literally, because I realize that people are incompetent. Bless their hearts. They don't mean to be, but sometimes they just are. So I made sure that when I dropped it off on April 2nd, meaning yesterday was what, the 22nd. We won't even go there.
Yeah.
Um, excuse me, but sorry about that, y'all. That was water. Um, but they couldn't find it, so she promised me urgently that she would have the service writer in charge, call me. Right? He didn't call me yesterday.
Mm.
I get my insurance to call him. Let's
Yeah.
call up here and make some asses move the molasses. You know what I mean? So couldn't find out it's costing almost 3 times more than what they estimated estimated it to be. Lord, I'm acting like Spicy K tonight, y'all. Estimated it to be, and so now they decided to total it. So my paid off car is going to be totaled. And I'm
Oh.
highly upset about that because that means I have to get yet another car, which
Yeah.
means like in the last 2 years, this will be what, my fourth, wait a minute, third vehicle. And that's ridiculous because people in Huntsville cannot drive and continue to hit my car while I'm in it. While I'm in it, being the operative phrasing there. And that is upsetting me. But yeah, so I have to figure out, they're giving me a pretty good amount of money for it, so I have to figure out what I'm going to get. And I'm very upset at that. But I'm more upset with the fact that these folks have said that they lost my car and couldn't find it. And that's upsetting and concerning. Landers McCarty Chevrolet, which is not the first time that particular area has screwed me over. I bought my truck from there. Do you remember my truck?
Yeah.
So, bought my truck from Bill Hurd Chevrolet when they were Chevrolet, and they screwed me over. This is my first car I ever paid for. About paid it off, but they screwed me from stem to stern. So I have really bad luck there. So my next vehicle will not be from anywhere near that building. Thank you, and I'm done.
So for this week, I'm actually telling on. I actually want to tell on my niece, but I guess it's technically my fault.
Oh,
So my niece celebrated her 26th birthday last week,
happy birthday!
and she wanted me to come to her party. So she had like a brunch party,
Uh-huh.
and she told me the location of where this event should be at. And in my mind, it's on
Mm.
Highway 72.
That's all you had to say. I already know it's finna go left. Cause in your mind, okay.
So because that's that's the name of the place. So I was like, okay, should be a quick drive. Shouldn't be that bad. I don't have to go through my hometown or anything. I just go on 72, keep on going, go through Athens. Well, apparently where she was at, because I didn't pay attention to where she told me it was at, and I didn't know it was a different location, which was across the river. Now,
Uh-oh. Involving a
I don't like
bridge.
bridges. Exactly.
Mm.
I don't like bridges, but I was already running late, so I couldn't just go through my hometown. So I had to drive over the bridge. Now, mind you, I had some Crocs on, some flip flop Crocs
Mm.
on. I literally stopped at the store, took the Crocs off, put on my tennis shoes because I was that nervous because I detest this bridge. When I say I hate this bridge, I hate this bridge
Which
with
one? Tennessee
everything in
River?
me. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
and all over the
65.
Tennessee River. No, it's Willer Dam, I believe. I hate that bridge.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
It's so narrow, and I hate it. I would literally go through Florence
Damn.
before
All the
I
way
hit that
around.
bridge. Yes,
It ain't that doggone narrow.
it scared me, but
Bless your
I
heart.
prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I
And look
got
at you. Look at you here
I'm
today.
here. But that was
Thank
scary.
you,
That was
Lord.
that was scary.
Bless your
Um,
heart. It's probably gonna scare a lot of people now. Bridges, ain't what they used to be. I don't guess, cause the way you was
well,
telling me the other week.
it has nothing to do with the bridges that collapse like the Keys.
Oh no, I know that's your
They
fear. I'm
have,
just
yeah.
saying
I just do not like bridges that are narrow, especially narrow bridges. I don't like bridges that are narrow, and I don't like bridges
narrow
like because it's two
bridges.
lanes. Because it's just two lanes, one on this side, one on that side. I hate that.
I
And
mean,
then I don't like the ones that you have to like. They have like a stoplight on it, and like you have to
mm,
wait. Cause why am I waiting on the bridge? Why? Like, why am I waiting for it to
because it
go up?
probably opened up for a boat to go through.
Exactly. Like, why is that happening? Why are they not just building it higher up so I don't have? Because that would traumatize me. Because I always think about like, what if you're getting ready to go and then like for whatever reason, like you don't and you teeter and tottering on the bridge, and I don't appreciate that.
Mm, not
That's
teetering
scary.
into. I think they have a sufficient warning prior to the bridge opening up. I think if I have seen, which I've only seen on television and or movies, but I do
Not just
believe they give you sufficient warning before they, spread open the top.
But just because you're paying attention doesn't mean the people behind you are paying attention. So that's who I'm telling on this week.
And we shall
So,
move on.
so the first story we have is about this author, and
Tracy, my girl. That's my
okay,
dog. I'm finna find her on IG, y'all.
so you know her. Okay, that is
Mm.
wonderful.
No, I'm
Um,
gonna know her. And I'm gonna read her book. And we're gonna talk about it.
so
Everybody get your
her name is
calculators out.
Tracy Macmillan.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
That's her name. Tracy McMillan, we about to be chilling. Cause you my home
I
girl
can't
now.
read this, and I can't read this with those glasses on. So I
Oh
have to
man.
put my new glasses on.
Interesting.
They months old. So she is a white author, and she decided to calculate how much she has benefited from racism.
Mm.
And she took a group of other people that were considered middle class, or middle class and blue collar. Well, I'm sorry, white collar and blue collar middle class, and calculated what how racism has benefited them. And she has two categories. She calls it a family bonus, which is money, and then she has what's called a social bonus, which includes
Hmm.
like jobs and stuff like that. So I read the whole interview. I'm quite sure you did as well. So what do you think about her book, and what do you think about? Obviously, you didn't read it because it just came out. But what do you think about
I thought it said it comes
what
out
she did?
Sunday.
It said Tuesday, I thought,
Tuesday or what?
with
Tuesday
like
with
today.
today. Yeah, or something. I knew it was like it was in the future from when I read it. But I am excited about this because this book will disprove all the Caucasians that say I didn't have privilege. I was poor. I grew up broke. Well, she had all kind of situations that were not common situations for people that look like her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And still is able to realize. Now, let me tell you, she is still able to realize that she has benefited just from the color of her skin. Now, and pretty much is the point of it all. Like Anthony Hamilton, you know what I'm saying? The point of it all, okay, is that they recognize that without certain advantages, they would not be who and what they seem to claim to be, and that makes sense in my head. Okay, simply because and then she when it comes to the little things, like we know the obvious things, but the little things, what I'm talking about, like she said, apartments,
Mhm.
like it's hard, like you're not here anymore, but it's very very hard for people to find affordable. Now we're gonna talk about affordable.
Oh, well, so they're not affordable here.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm just speaking on the point of view from you here. My very first apartment here in Huntsville was rented to me with two bedrooms and 1.5 baths. 1.5 baths. $359. Two bedrooms. Okay? The half a piece of bathroom was in one of the bedrooms, okay? Because I want to say it was like 1 3/4. I don't know, because it was the toilet and it was a sink and a cabinet and a mirror with a light switch.
Just half.
Is that considered half? Because I thought half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Like
because
if it
there
had
is a.
like a shower or something, then that's 3/4. I think that's how they weigh it. I could be wrong,
Oh,
but I think
because
that's what they.
3/4 is more than a half. You are
Yeah.
absolutely correct.
Mhm. Yes.
Shut up. Anyway, but yeah, so it was $359 per month, each month, and then so the next time I came across his apartments, of friend of mine stayed there, and that was years later. So now they're up to 550 a month
For the
at
same
this.
one?
Yes, same exact place, same exact area. You know what they did? They put that wood linoleum uh, contact paper on the floor where it looked like it's a hardwood floor. You know what I mean? And then they put a stove and a refrigerator in there. Like my stuff was decent. Like I had no complaints. The only thing I had, it was just that there was just a little half a diner living room, and it was kind of connected, and it was odd to try to put furniture in. So it was just weird. But anyway, it was $359 per month, again each month. And so now those same exact apartments are renting $1,100.
Mm.
Same location, which is bad. Say, you know what I mean? Like I lived off Triana over there, right there behind, and over there. I lived over there in the hood, in the west side hood, over there when it was a Winn Dixie and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's when I lived over there. And Winn Dixie shut down. But anyway,
I don't know
but
where Triana is at. I'm
you
trying to think
probably
about it.
you probably never even went over there. I
Okay.
guarantee you don't know where it's at. Bob Wallace,
I
when
know
you go
about
to
Wallace.
Whole Foods, you turn right and go the other
Oh,
way. That's when you go to the other end because Whole Foods on the other side by Huntsville High. It's two different sides of Bob Wallace. Shout out. What's hate? Anyway, um, yeah, it's interesting that she chose to do this after conversations that she had with black people, and trying to get an understanding of what possible role that she could have played. Maybe after reading White Fragility, like I mentioned, maybe that's when she took a look at what possibly she should be knowing about what's going on. So she calculated, and I'm very interested in reading it. I wouldn't, you know
I'm
try
interested
to
in reading it too. I'm
right.
definitely interested in reading it after looking at the interview. Well, reading the interview and everything.
And I'm definitely interested in reading it for the content simply because I want to know, how to, you know, show people that this is what you need to read as well. When you say, I was just as poor as I didn't have no advantages. Okay, well, let's talk about this. Situations that I had, my soul teammate has mentioned to me that they've been all pulled over by the police, and her being probably the only Caucasian person with them, and and she's the only one that's, let's just say dirty, right?
Okay.
And she's the only one that don't get searched or don't get harassed.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was a, I'm pretty sure that the ladies that were with her were sensitive about the situation, because you can't take that from her, because we know that there's no ill will like that in her heart whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
But as far as how did that make her feel? How did that make them feel? When you're actually forced to see where your privilege comes from, that's when you have to be like, you know, everybody's not angry, but currently, well, I just finished two audiobooks this week. That's crazy, but I just finished a book by a wonderful black author named Austin Channing Brown. She is a female. She talks about being black, growing up black in a white world, navigating that, and when she's forced to find out that she is black, in fact black, situations that she learned about, you know, in college. So imagine struggling with your identity and things like that, and being forced to fit in. Then when you finish college, you get your, you know, I am blackness on, all through college, and then guess where you have to go into the corporate world where you're surrounded by other people that don't look like you. So it really, when I came across it, I had to read it. I never heard of her, and I came across it and I finished it this week. And she talks about that, like it's the subtle thing, but basically, what I'm getting at, we're tired. We're tired of explaining to you what the situation is, what's going on, why we're upset. We're tired of a lot letting you have your way out, and your guiltless understanding of what's happened, what's continues to happen, and things like that. We're tired of that. So you can't get ill with black people when they don't want to bail you out or explain your racism to you. Do your own research. You feel me?
Yeah. Um. one of the things that she mentioned in there is that um, she wanted to have wealthier white people,
Hmm.
um, but she wasn't able to like find anyone that was able that wanted to be like open about everything. And she said she also wanted to find like poor white people as well, and
Mm.
not just people that were in the middle class. She mentioned that there was I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's where you buy a house and it says that a black person can't live there. Like it has to only be like a
The
white
red
person.
lining.
No, that's
Oh
not
no
the red
no
lining.
covenant. The covenants.
Yes, maybe that's what it is.
Hmm.
Um, and she mentioned that. So she was saying also that in, I think she said like a meal scrap or something. One of those places that she mentioned that either her father or grandfather worked at, um, she mentioned that it was a dangerous job and they they allow everybody to do it, but they mostly allow black people to do it and wouldn't teach them any other skills and talents to be able to do something else that wasn't as
Something else.
dangerous and
Right.
to make as much money. So she put into perspective a lot of things that I have been saying for a while my own self. Because a lot of people don't understand, like, everybody just thinks, oh, well, I grew up a certain way, so I didn't have the privilege, but you really did, and that's what she was explaining in the interview in this article is that she did have the privilege because of her skin color. The
Hmm.
privilege was given to her. That she was able to be afforded, different opportunities, and she said that I think um, I feel like at one point in time that her family was on like government assistance as well. Um, so yeah, I definitely feel like this book is gonna be able to help people understand because some people don't understand when it comes from a black person. I'm just gonna be
Hmm.
honest, or a person of
Right.
color. So maybe eyes would be open, based on her writing this
No,
book.
there's no.
And and
There's
by the way, the
no
book is called The White Bonus: Five Families and the Cash Value of Racism in
racism in
America.
America. Yep. The cash value. Did you hear what you just said? The
Mm-hmm.
cash value of racism in America, because there is such a thing. And she put it around what, somewhere around 3 million.
No, for herself, she's calculated over $400,000 of value.
Where did I get 3 million from?
Um,
She because okay, well,
I'm not
she
sure.
said she said
She said that her family spent about 146,000, and then it was another, I think, 200 and something to make it to 40,000. By the way, it was racial covenant, and she also mentioned this. Her father was it her father? No, her grandfather. Her
mm-hmm.
grandfather worked as a banker in 1930. And she was saying that at their time there was a quarter million bankers in the United States, and only 80 of them were black.
Oh, it says 300. I thought that was three. I thought that was 3 million. I was like, I know I saw a three in there somewhere. 371,000.
Yeah, it was like close to 4,000 in total that
Yeah,
she estimates was contributed to her because of her skin color being
and
white.
that's crazy. So imagine each individual having a $371,000 head start
Yeah.
on just on life. Period. Like, okay, so your credit, your skin is your credit. If it's dark like ours, then there seems to be initially none. You have to do all your research, and you gonna open up this. You gonna ask us if we know who our third grade teacher was. You know, you gonna ask us all the questions And I do know who my third grade teacher was, so y'all messing around with me and find out. I know all my teachers. But anyway, it's 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 really interesting to see how, like, I know how we gonna react to this, because this is just to put a cash value on it is what I want to see. That calculation and everything. But I just want to see how they react to it. Like, oh, because they're going to be forced to look at these things, these similarities that they are going to have with this young lady. And even though, she said she grew up in an abusive household, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
the parents might have, did whatever they did to her, but they still seem to put forward her education, knowing that that is something that she is going to need regardless, which is what's used to separate us.
Yeah.
Simply, like this dude that I was I'm friends with. He worked with me at CarMax. He posted today that degree is just. It's pretty much just a, like, what is it? It's a no. He said you can pretty much teach anyone how to do any job. So even if you go to school and get a degree, you still have to learn how to do the job.
Yeah.
Like,
You still have training.
right. So what is the problem with giving someone an opportunity to see how, because that could actually work out for people. You know what I'm saying? Because people that want to learn how to do it and are prideful in their work, that they'll work hard for you. Like, people that be like, oh, well, I can go anywhere. I have a degree. You know what I'm saying? You got people. And they literally can. But it's the person that is going to, like, if you're interested in yourself as a business, you know what I mean. You would concentrate on that, I would think. But anyway, shout out to Miss McMillan, Tracy, my homegirl. We going I'm following you on IG. I appreciate you doing this, and I'm pretty sure you did it for your own personal reasons. And again, that's awesome.
I do. She did mention in here about they were asking her questions about, um, and this is what I definitely have said before. A lot of people don't want the playing field to be equal because they know that they have been used. They know that they have had advantages,
Mm-hmm.
and any kind of diversity, equity, inclusion, or anything like that levels the playing field, and they don't want to give up. And this is what she mentioned as well. They don't want to give up that advantage that they know that they have been having. It's not, and she also mentioned that, in the scope of racism and how everything is set up, someone is going to be at a disadvantage and someone is going to be at an advantage. And as she stated, white people have been more at an advantage because of everything that has been put into place. You know,
Mm.
uh, for us the covenants and racial covenants and things like that. She even mentioned about the fact that there was a lot of things set in place, like the GI Bill, that everybody thought was universal benefit, but actually the benefit was set aside initially, and it was only benefiting the white people.
Right.
So I definitely appreciate the things that she said in the
Well, you got to
interview.
think about the covenant stuff. Like, did you hear? Which is like, people lived in neighborhoods that they were guaranteed where black people couldn't buy homes. And when I say this, I mean near the places that they work. So you got black people being bussed in, 45 miles one way just to get to work because they can't get a house near where they work because of these covenants. Restrictive. What is the one thing that generational wealth starts with is home ownership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing to pass down when we're living in cities and state owned property. You know what I'm saying? State property.
Yeah.
That's what it was. In the country out here, you got few and far between. Like, there's no. You really have to look at where, you can't even say where we started from, because that's not even that is a step up, a couple steps up from where we started from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's just really awesome to see that somebody is taking a look at just to force people to see, because I think white people, sorry, Caucasian people will read it because they don't think they want to be able to dispute it. But once you read something, it's in. I mean, you know it. Like you
Yeah.
can't say I don't know, because that's what they say. I never knew, because the young lady that has written a book, and it's a long title, and you know I hate long titles, uh, but it's called a Black Girl's Guide to something. Like she's literally, like I went back to the OJ book because I had to go and listen to read I did if I did it, you know what I mean. But
Okay.
anyway, so I'm still here is what it's called. I'm still here. Black dignity in a world, like I think full of whiteness. I can't see the whole thing right now.
Okay.
I sent it. I think I sent it to you. I
Oh, the
shared
one you
it.
just hit. Yeah.
I shared it with you, simply because it, they need to know. Like she's. I mean, this is a bestseller. It's on the bestseller list, New York Times bestseller list,
Okay.
and I mean, we're not known to put books on the bestseller list, if you know what I
Yes, we.
mean.
Yes, yes, they are. Yes,
No, we're not.
yes, they are.
But anyway, they're not looking for our opinion when they ask for the bestseller. So let's not go there. But we do
No, I'm
have
serious.
several
There's a lot of
authors.
people that have been
We
on the
have a
best.
lot of authors. I didn't say we didn't have a lot of authors on the bestseller list. Listen, comprehension is key. But listen, so what I'm saying is there's a lot of things that we have to do differently, from being little girls in school, surrounded by them in school, to being in college with people that they're there, but there's more people that look like us. If unless you go to an all HBCU, so everybody looks like you. Then you're back into the world of virtual whiteness again when you enter the corporate world. And she worked for a nonprofit, so that's definitely mostly them. So it's hard, and when I don't know if I would consider Miss Tracy McMillan an ally, although I consider her my homegirl. I don't know if she's an ally, because she's looking into this for her own personal reasons, not to help us in any kind of way. You feel me? And that's okay, because she's getting the information out there. It's fine by me, but she's not doing this to say, oh, for the benefit of black people, white people need to know this. I mean, she's literally looking at what has transpired and putting that information out there. So I appreciate her for that.
Yeah. So moving on to the story, we have lovely Jill Scott that
Jilly from Philly can
yes,
do no wrong. I don't
we
care.
have the lovely Jill Scott that
Mm.
made some references in support of Chris Brown. And let me read what she says
Shut up, Breezy.
because
I'm with you.
wait, hold on, let me find the one
My
I was
man
going to say
ate
because I
his
found
food.
another one.
My man ate his food up, and he is
So,
singing nigga.
oh, you talking about the disc to Quavo? Oh, okay, yeah.
The
Um,
weakest link.
she said she was like she at Chris Brown. She said it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. How does anyone sing like that, dance, look, act, and rap like that? Beyond gifted, it appears exceptional people have to go through exceptional fire, or maybe that's hell. I'm not really sure. There is nothing to debate, and a lot of people gave her backlash
And
for
I'm gonna tell all them people to kiss my and her ass, cause that's Jilly from Philly. You don't say nothing bad about Miss Jill Scott. Thank you very much. And okay, I'm gonna tell you what she said after the fact. But go ahead,
okay.
go
No, you
ahead.
can go ahead. You can go ahead.
No. Okay, so she took the backlash, and then she attempted to go back and forth with a few people,
Mm-hmm.
attempted. I mean, it's like because that's your natural instinct. So please forgive Miss Jill for going back and forth with you animals that tried to attack her. Okay, uh, she she did not tell any lies. He has gone through an extraordinary amount of turmoil throughout his career and life, and that's oh Lord, that's not cool. Um, but that's all she said. That he's been through a lot. He didn't say, "Oh well, he didn't do what they said he did. He didn't do this, he didn't do that." They all she said was he been through hell. I'm gonna say hell
Also,
because
well, she
through the
just mentioned
fire.
basically that he was talented.
Yeah, and
That
he is. Who can?
sometimes talented people go through a lot of things.
James Brown, Michael Jackson,
What
all
James
these
Brown
people.
went through? He got arrested.
But I mean, he was tormented. He was in a white world. Do you not realize what the time was? And then you got to be famous, but they don't want you to sit in the front row, use the same water. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. These folks they go through a lot. And yeah, he was arrested. Probably was drunk and high as hell. That's all right though. R.I.P. James, we love you, but we know you went through a lot, and most of our brothers have when it comes to when they're successful like that. You feel me? Like it ain't easy for them. All that shit ain't easy for them to to deal with that. Denzel, I'm sure he got some stories to tell about not being treated so well. But he been acting for a long time.
But this, mm, there, people
You
in the
can't you
comments were
can't
talking about Chris Brown's actions that he did, not, and so it's hard to say you're comparing him to. It feels like you're comparing him to these other people and the other situations that they went through. But keep in mind, Chris Brown actions cause some of his consequences.
Yeah, I mean, cause he don't he tired of that shit. Like he said in his I think it was an interview that they said like he can't live that down. Motherfuckers beat bitches all day. That's what he said. They do way worse than what he was accused of. And then even the lady that was involved in the situation has pretty much admitted her part and fought in it as well. You know what I'm saying? So he has never been vindicated from any of that, and that's not fair. And so
But
he's
there were alleged allegations against him from other people besides Rihanna,
oh
besides the
well no.
Rihanna situation, because apparently he was, I guess, stalking Karushi.
Well, that is weird. His obsession with this Karuchi Coochie, I swear, she is it's unhealthy because he got on your boy Marcus Houston when he said something about anybody say anything about that. I don't know what kind of demon she got over him, but I mean it's not everybody he do like that because I mean he's had plenty. I mean he's had a share now. Let's not go there. But in Quavo's diss, he did say something to me, something that I heard that you know he tried to do it to Tiana,
Yeah,
but
and
Usher
Usher
wouldn't
stopped
let.
it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. So I didn't know he was ever with Tiana Taylor.
It wasn't. It this was the either Chris Brown threw Usher a party, like a birthday party, or Usher threw Chris Brown a party. I don't remember exactly which way it was which, but one of them threw the other person a party, and
Hmm.
that's allegedly where the incident happened with Tiana.
But they weren't together.
No, it wasn't that they were together. I don't know exactly what. I didn't. I never heard that they were together in that particular instance.
But
I know
they
that
got
she has
into it.
mentioned him before, and she's been friends with him apparently for a while, um, because she mentioned that a long, long time ago.
Well, I don't know, but either way, they gonna get off jail like Chef said. She spoke the truth. And folks gonna talk, folks just want something to say because everybody got their coochie on their sleeve now. They heart. When I say that, I mean they. I didn't want to say the p word, but that's what they are. Everybody
Okay,
got
okay.
they got they. That's what they acting like these days, and it's like everything they want to find a reason to be offended. Like you're gonna go viral if you have the most viral comment on something, then you're gonna go viral. You're gonna be famous. Like I say stuff for comedic purposes on these celebrity stuff. I don't care if anybody see it. I've had a few celebrities comment back or haha my comment or something like that. I don't care about that stupid shit, but people just say stuff to say stuff. She was trying to be supportive of this man because yeah, they finna eat you up, Chris, because they got something to say about that. But can't nobody deny that you body that rapping Negro. Like he can't. The If anybody heard "Tender" by Quavo, I know you wish you could have those
Tinder
couple
was the
minutes,
worst
but
one.
right. And so that's what Chris Brown was responding to because I guess you calling them soft. You really think Breezy won't, run up and bust a move and then dance on you after he beat your ass? But you want to shoot the nigga. That's all Quavo know how to do. Pop, pop. You gonna die over Karuchi, nigga? Some of the coochie nigga. Like he just was going in. Then you brought a dead Negro on the song, which first off you have a feature. I The only person that's ever been able to get away with having somebody on a diss track as a feature is Tupac. And sir, you are not Tupac.
Well,
Okay?
Drake just had Tupac on his.
Yeah, that's weird.
Hmm.
It's a little strange. But that Hit 'em Up and Ether are the two best diss records ever. Nobody will ever beat those. And I feel like Chris Brown came close because he was mad and he is not a rapper. But he can. Everybody knows he can rap. Like
But did you listen to Corvo's
yeah, the other one. I
the
listened
other
to the
one?
other one, Overhoes and
Yeah,
Bitches.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I listened to it. The beat. Now, when I say the beat was fire,
I'm kind of a
I was
crackhead.
like, oh snap! But he can't. He still got the. To me, it's the. It was. I mean,
Call him a crackhead.
yeah, he did. Crackhead Michael Jackson. I love it because nigga, you still got ate up by the crackhead Michael Jackson. So whatever you
I
call
don't,
this,
I don't, I don't know. I'm not. Obviously, we all know I'm not really a Chris Brown fan. Reason why I'm not really a Chris Brown fan is because yeah, I do still have some issues about the whole Rihanna situation because I'm more a Rihanna fan. But I would still listen to the song that they had together, and I know that they pretty much get along. Uh, but I but the reason why I don't really care for him is because everybody wants to compare him to Usher, and I can't have that. I feel like I have to take a stand, and my stand is I
wrong,
support Usher.
wrong. Okay,
Um,
I get it. I totally get it. Like I was
but
the
I
same
don't
way
think,
before.
but I don't think Quavo. Now Tinder, that was a hot mess. But I
Yes.
think him on the other diss track about Chris, I was thoroughly. There were some moments I was thoroughly entertained.
Oh,
Just
now,
saying.
like I said, the beat was fine. He had a few bars, but ultimately, in the back and forth, yeah, he didn't win. It was in comparison to what the weakest link gave us. Yeah, Quavo didn't win that.
I can't believe we're actually agreeing that Jill really didn't say anything wrong
Well, you
when it
thought
comes to.
she could have said, "I can't stand spicy K. I'm gonna slap her in the face," and I've been had to been like, "Damn." Uh, well, we just gonna have to agree to disagree, Jill, because she can do no wrong in my eyes.
Jilly from Philly. But yeah,
Jilly
but
from
I
Philly.
I do want
Let's just have a 2 seconds of silence for Jill. There we go.
to.
That was awesome. That was freaking awesome.
Now I do want to bring up something that Jill said. For whatever reason, I can't find the. It may be on my iPad. I don't
I don't know
know. But
either.
one of the things that she made a statement about was the fact of her mother's ex-husband, and she said that he was a mean, violent human, but he can lay foundation better than anyone in the city. What he did with cement was all inspiring, but we got away. So she understands that things can happen, and one act or several acts doesn't necessarily make a person bad,
Exactly.
which is commendable because it doesn't.
It sure
Um,
doesn't.
Now, patterns of behavior is different story. Um, but I appreciated the fact that she said that, and then she also mentioned, she said, "Look, years of prayer therapy, self-reflection, and making every effort to keep my feet on the ground has made me compassionate for other human beings. People go through things and do terrible things." Because I'm not saying that cuss word. We say we believe in God, pray for enlightenment. We are living testimony. And I was like, "Go ahead, Jilly from Philly."
Well, my thing is like that's his burden. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what is your burden? Not asking you personally, but the people that are
Yeah.
judging him. What do you not want to be in your story when you go to the pearly gates? You know what I'm saying? So think about that and think about like do you think you deserve any vindication for the things that you've done? Like
And
what
like I
the
said, I from what I've read from the people that were responding to her and people making comments, had I feel like, and I said this before when we were talking about the Super Bowl and whether or not Chris Brown would ever be performing there. If the Rihanna situation was only the Rihanna situation, I think it would be different. But he has exhibited behavior that is violent in nature. So therefore, it's showing as a pattern to a lot of people, and that's what a lot of people are calling him to test it out. I don't think most people are calling him to test about Rihanna because obviously, they started still doing songs together. So I don't think people are that concerned as it relates to the Rihanna situation, but it's
right?
what everything else after the Rihanna situation. Because like they say, one thing is mistakes. You keep doing it, and that becomes a habit. So I think they consider, you know, his violent tendencies to be more of a habit and more of a part of his personality and character.
Well, I mean, okay, so so then that's the consensus. If that's how they want to feel, even if you feel that way, according to Jilly from Philly, you can't take that away from his talents. And
Yeah.
it's some people have that, just spirit. It's all right. We pray for the brother. He gonna keep on giving us good music, rap and R&B.
Good music is subjective, but yes, okay.
Well, I guess it is subjective then, because he's definitely
Mm-hmm.
surpassed your boy.
Usher?
Agree to disagree. Next, dead man.
Yes.
Cause
So
you,
go ahead, since you're the one that brought this story to me.
yeah. Well, you know, I come across a few things, and apparently we had a lady, excuse the pun, but dead set on walking away with a loan from a bank a few days ago. Well, not a few days ago. The story broke a few days ago, but literally had the man inside the dead man inside the bank in a wheelchair. Now it showed his face blurred out. I guess to protect whatever privacy he may have left, because she strode him around in the wheelchair in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't even want to think of the number of charges that she's facing for this, because uh tampering with a corpse is a major like a major offense. Do you feel me?
Yeah.
Like it's a and then for because what intrigued me was why did she do this? Because she was getting the loan in her name.
Mhm. He was signing
So
off on it. Yep.
as a cosign now, is the cosigner more important than the signer?
No, but
Because
sometimes you can't get things without a cosigner, so maybe that's why.
I'm over here thinking like I thought initially this upon reading it, beginning to read it, I'm thinking that she's trying to get the loan in his name,
Mm-mm.
and he did because he got to sign for it. But then, yeah, co-signing because if you don't pay and he's the co-signer, I mean he dead.
I feel like
It
she
get
would have did better off like just changing like some documents or something. Like who I'm just saying like changing the will or changing something like that. That would have been I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that would have made a lot more sense to bring a person that is literally dead and telling them to sign a paper and you're literally signing it.
hmm I mean, you're literally having to hold their hand.
Yeah, she's
Uh,
having to hold the hand and sign and everything.
the
And apparently, she kept on asking, like, "Uncle, are you listening? You have to sign it. I can't sign it for you. Like, you know,
yeah,
this man is not alive."
right. And like so now you making a case for you to be able to get off on mental stability because you sitting here talking to this like she literally was having conversations as if he were able at some point, like apparently he had been dead for several hours. So this was on the to-do list today, to go and get this loan. So we can't speak on, and that could be a point for the lawyers, that we cannot speak on what uncle intended to do that day. He just
Right.
didn't make it. He just didn't quite make it in life that far. So we can't take it away. We can't say like maybe she got to get this is for her house, or this she got to get something to do it, and then he had already agreed to do it, and then like I said, he just expired a little bit just before the appointment time, and maybe she'll be able to make a case for herself that way because I can't just see him dying, her saying, "Well, let me go get a loan in your dead name, so we can, so I can have this money since you dead now, Uncle." So, what do you think? Do you think it was something that was on the to do list already, and he just didn't make it?
No, I think that she
No.
like he had been dead for hours.
Yeah, but she ain't say, "I'm finna go have him sign for this loan with his dead ass after he done died." She didn't say that. Ain't no way. I want to see this trial. We need to make sure we get somebody,
Well,
get our
apparently,
assistant down at the court. We need to get an assistant first. But we just that's just on the to do list. So let's just we don't have we'll worry about that. We'll manifest that.
no. So okay, so let me go back to the article because I think they were already charged. I
Huh?
think, yeah, I think they were already charged. Hold on.
I already What you mean I already like what? See man, you get me going back on over here.
Oh,
Where did
never
that?
mind, never mind. The people. So apparently, somebody did this a similar act in Ireland,
Mm,
and they were the ones that were charged. I was like, I know someone was charged on here and went to jail, but so
serious?
apparently, based on like I said, the issue that happened in Ireland, and two men were put in jail apparently last July. Um, I didn't know this was a thing.
What's the thing that you didn't?
like bringing a dead person to go sign a loan.
I mean, apparently it is. Apparently, Spicy
I
K, that's what you gotta do. So, I wish I would have not. Never mind. I was gonna say something real insensitive, but it's my situation.
but they said on in this article that they don't know, and they're trying to identify other family members to figure out if he was alive when the loan was arranged. So they don't know if the loan was arranged prior to him passing away or not.
Well, I tell you
Um,
what that will do, though. That will lessen the charge a little bit. She's still going to prison. Oh, okay, just thought I'd let you know.
eh,
She's still going to the pen.
but yeah, so that's I just don't understand why I. And then apparently the loan, because they were in Brazil, and the loan was for 17,000 Brazilian reals, and apparently they said it's the equivalent of
T-
2,500
right,
pounds.
pounds.
So yeah, I think that's pounds.
Okay, yeah,
The
probably euros.
What's the sign for euros?
What you're looking at?
Oh, okay. So I don't. So maybe roughly probably $4,000.
A little bit under here. Because I think it's what $2 and something. They're ahead of
Well, I
us.
can't even figure out what sign this is, so I can't really help you out because I don't know what sign.
Put it in the chat.
I don't know if my keyboard has this
It's
sign.
got it.
I don't see it.
It's on there. But yeah, it's a doggone shame with that. Now you would think that this loan was for like maybe half a million to at least $1 million, or
But
at
it
least
wasn't.
I know it was for the equivalent of about. It was less than 5,000. Let's just say that 5,000 U.S. American dollars.
And apparently the bank workers were the ones that were like obviously videotaping and taking these pictures. Because I guess they were getting concerned that she was asking this man to basically write things.
And he
Um,
could not.
and
You
obviously
know
he's
why
not
he couldn't?
alive. He's not
Okay, there we go.
alive.
There we go. Had
I
he
just think
written
this is.
something, it would have
I think
scared
this is just
everybody.
weird. I just think this is weird. Like once I found out that he died like hours before, I'm like, why are you doing this?
Well, I mean, if anybody can refer to this wonderful movie called The Princess Bride, you know, Wesley was only mostly dead. So we don't know if Mr. Uncle was mostly dead or all the way dead. Because I just don't, because she might have thought, like, he might have been dying at the house, but by the time they got to the bank, you know, he just killed on over.
No, they mentioned I saw a story. They
Yeah,
mentioned that
he
he
did.
had died hours before.
Yeah, I know. I know. I knew that.
But
But
they literally had to call, the ambulance and the police because
yes,
you're really wanting the dead person to sign off on things.
right. They probably will put her in a mental institution. Simply because you even thought that you would get away with it. Like, I mean, you know the difference between somebody that's sleep. Well, do you?
A sleep person and a dead person
Yeah.
has to
In a
do with
wheelchair.
breathing.
I'm talking about just by looking at them, fool. I know if you if you go over there and be like, they're not breathing. Yeah, that's an indication that they might be deceased. But it's only an indication, so we have to be perfectly clear. Um, so I just I just want to know what kind of sickness this person could be dealing with, because that's the really very strange thing to do. But like I said, if he told her that morning that we going to get a loan for you, my niece, I love you, and then he died, that's just like he was just breaking promises. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Why are you talking about Keely? Ain't that girl name?
I have no clue. I was too old for the Three Little Women. I was. They was not on my level when I was however old I was. I was too old. I'm getting thick and tired by the broken promises. Excuse.
You happy face.
Numbers and. We need to do a story about her. Oh my. The things I've heard.
OMG.
Yes,
Anything
your
else about that
MG.
one?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So quickly, we'll talk about this other story. We're not going to talk about Brian. We'll talk about the the, the family that doesn't think. Um,
The what?
the family that doesn't think. Did you send it to me on Facebook
The
or?
family that doesn't think.
Mhm. Mhm.
They
Mhm.
don't think what?
The couple that wanted to use the band name.
Oh, girl, I didn't even see that on it. There's a possibility, but yes,
Yes,
I,
it was
I,
on the. It was on there. It was on
I
there. You gotta start reading the full sentence, the full line. Hmm.
girl. But
You the
anyway,
one gave me the story.
but I didn't see it on it for today. But I don't. Wasn't even interesting. Anyway, so these white folks want to name their child something that's ridiculous, and oh my god, I hate how you send that because it comes to me weird, and I didn't see that. But anyway, they want to name their child Lucifer, and it's on. I didn't know there could be a band name
Yeah,
because
there's
I
a lot
mean,
of names this band.
no, you can't tell me what I can name my child and what I can't. Like even though I think it's weird, it's still a right?
No, there's a lot of things that you can't name your. They don't allow you to name your child or in different things. Keep in mind
Mm,
that these people are, I believe, in London.
I mean, we're not even gonna talk about the folks across the pond. They do strange
Yeah,
shit,
they are. They are in
but
Chesterfield.
I'm
The
pretty sure
Flopper.
it's due to the show and not the devil, right?
No, no, it was due to the devil.
Well,
They
shit.
basically wanted to name their child Lucifer,
Yeah,
and it was originally banned. And they want the parents want the battle to name their son Lucifer, and they stated that they're not religious. This is my issue with this.
right.
Even if you're not religious, who's to say that your child is not going to grow up and be religious? And now they have the name of Lucifer, and now they have to go and change their name. You're
But
making
who
your
has to
child
think
go through
about
all
that?
these other obstacles just because you want to, I don't know, be petty or something. And trust me,
But
I am petty. I like
that's not
pettiness.
petty.
But name your child Lucifer. Come on,
If
let's.
it wasn't known for what it's known for, I mean, it doesn't sound horrible. But what I'm saying is, like, okay, so you know, in anticipation, we could say that about my real first name.
Your
Who
first name is
anticipate?
common.
Wait a minute, exactly.
Uh-huh.
But who would have anticipated that doesn't match me whatsoever in any shape, form, or fashion? You know, as much as 25 years later. Like that's not something that my mom or my dad, they put my name together with they the dun selves. To for whatever reason they did that, and I think it's the dumbest thing ever. But they did, and that's what they liked. So I mean, had it been supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, whatever, that's a right that everybody would have talked about me for my entire life. But if that's what they wanted to name me, I think they should have been able to name me that because I probably would have liked it better than what they actually chose. To be honest with you. But I just don't think. But is it band names in the UK only, or
No, there's names that are banned here, from my understanding as well. And so basically,
Prince changed his name to a symbol, and you telling me y'all gonna tell me what I can name my child? Come on now.
just like they tell you what can be in your license plate for specialty tags. Yeah, same
But
difference.
I didn't know that because I've seen some very strange things on vanity tags now.
So the father, because Dan
Mm-mm.
Sheldon said that even though in Christianity Lucifer is a fallen angel, the Latin word, or the Latin meaning for Lucifer means the bringer of life.
Yeah. So why can't that be? Just because the UK chooses to look at something one way, and these people, could be the baby that bringeth forth light to the world, like in Game of Thrones.
I'm not. I'm not saying what this child can't or can't do. I'm just saying that
In the future, he gonna have to think about his name is Lucifer, and he might want to be a priest, and he can't be.
it's not even that. Like they were mentioning that um, the child might have a hard time, getting a job. I feel like it's the same thing that they say when people have very ethnic black names. Um,
Ethnic,
that
that's a
people
good
say that.
word to use. That's
Yeah.
Where'd you get that one? Ethnic. You sound like
What
them.
other word
Urban.
would you?
Ethnic and urban. Fuck out of here. Anyway,
What other word would you use? It's ethnic. That's
it's
what people
it's
say. And our names are so not ethnic. One thing about it.
Keviandre, Jaquarion Darius. I'm sorry if there's someone out there named Jaquarion Darius. I just made that up, but that's what she's getting at. Like, so she's equating Lucifer to
No, no,
Jaquandarion
no. That was
Darius.
the point of the article, is that it was um that they were comparing his name to someone calling him Hitler, and then they
Yeah,
were also mentioning that it would be
that's,
hard for him to be able to get a job.
well, he don't got to worry about no fucking job. He ain't. He's just a baby.
The baby has to grow up.
Yes, but that's neither here nor there. This could be a whole. It could be 100 Lucifers by the time he's old enough to have a job at McDonald's.
And I see one of Sabrina said that he can change his name as an adult, and
Right.
I would literally be the first person to go up there and change my name.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't.
So,
You wouldn't. You
I
don't
wouldn't
know
want that
that.
name. I wouldn't want that name.
You wouldn't want the backlash that comes with the name. But I mean, if that's your name, that's your name. Like
You can
I've been
change.
an
There's a lot of
adult.
people that change their
Right.
name. You can
I
change
that's
your
a,
name if you want to change your
I
name. You don't have
know.
to be.
I know
You
that I
don't have to
can.
be. Yeah.
I am very well aware of that, but that would break my mother's heart, and I would not do that. So legally, I would not change that, and that's what I've chosen. Oh, I've been wanting to do that since I was 17 and three quarters, and then you know what I'm saying because yeah, but I wouldn't. My mom would. She would. You know, she would literally cry, and I don't want my mommy to cry.
Aw. Well, a lot of apparently some of the people in this article about it, some people was like, "Oh my goodness, Lucifer sounds like a wonderful name," and then other people agree with me.
Well, because they're weird. But yeah, it's
Nothing's weird about it.
yeah, that's weird. To somebody, that's like somebody saying you shouldn't have your name. Fuck out of here.
My
They
name is
might
normal.
think, no.
My name is
Oh,
normal.
so on this show we gonna say there's a normal, and people that aren't fit inside what you think is normal are weird. That's what you're
No, I
saying. Your
didn't say
name is
that.
no, no,
My
you
name is
did.
normal.
Yeah. So
My name is
so
your name is normal. When I
No,
say
don't
when
put
I
me
say
in that because I
normal,
don't agree with
no, no,
you.
no, 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 no. When I say normal, I mean like there's a lot of people that will traditionally have that name, your name,
Normal
and
is
also my
offensive
name.
these days because what is normal? Please explain. Because I want to hear it now. Now I want to know what normal is.
I'm trying to explain what it is.
Okay, I'm listening.
There's a lot of people across several races that have my name and also have your name.
So that's
That
normal.
is what I mean. So that's a normal, or I should say, traditional name. Our names are very
Yeah,
traditional.
traditional is a lot better than
Um,
normal.
but you have a name like, even a name like Apple. Apple isn't necessarily normal. People are named Apple.
I love apples.
Products are named Apple.
I love
But
apples.
that's not necessarily a name that most people would have heard of as a name. The
Gwyneth
same way for
Paltrow's
Lucifer.
kid
I know. That's why I said it. That's why I said
is
Apple because
Apple.
I know there's a celebrity that has a name, child that's named
Because
Apple.
so basically you're saying if a name is outside of
No, you
something
can
that
name your
you've
child
heard
whatever you
of,
want. No, you can trust me. I have the perfect name for a child in my
carburetor.
head. No, but I also know that there is somebody else that has a name similar to that name. So
Carburetor is fire.
yeah, hmm
If
I do
somebody
know.
if somebody named your daughter carburetor and you be like, oh,
Why would they do that?
well,
Why would
not.
anybody
It's
do that?
not normal.
No,
Hmm.
no. It's not normal. It's not common. Like all of these
You
traditional
want to be those things.
is all of
Those are
those
the things
words.
that you want to be common and normal. That don't describe me in any shape, form, or fashion. So yeah, ups
So you
carburetor.
would name your child Lucifer.
No, hell no.
Okay then.
I don't have to agree with the name just to give just the right to they're in the right to name their child that. See, you acting like them. That's why that's why I'm
Who
fool
is
with you.
them?
Exactly. Who the fuck are they?
I just no people you can name, but you have to. Of course, you have to register the name. That's the whole issue here. You have to register the name if they have any kind of thing that they believe is going to be offensive or whatever. Then the judge rules that you can't. The registrar says that you can't use that name, and then you got to go to court. They want the court battle so they can name their child. But yes,
Because
they do have a register, like you do register the name.
ultimately the court decided that they could name their child whatever they want, right?
Yeah, they
Yep.
decided that they can. Yeah,
There you go. So you had to go through all that just to be able to see that's what I'm talking about. That's that bullshit. Because in the end, it doesn't really matter. Shut
it
up.
doesn't matter to you because
R.I.P.
it's not your
Chester.
name. It's not your name. It's not your name. So of
What?
course it doesn't matter.
It's not my name.
And
It don't
but
matter. If it,
I would be hurt if I.
I wouldn't have chosen the name that I
First of all,
have.
there was some names that my grandmama wanted my mama to name me. Good thing that my mama did not listen to her. I like my first name and I like my middle name. Period.
Well, how do you know he
I
not gonna
like
like
how they're
Lucifer?
pronounced. Huh?
How you know the baby ain't gonna like Lucifer? The only person that's gonna tell him what America believes Lucifer is other people. It ain't
No.
gonna be his
So
parents.
you think Americans are the only people that are Christians
No, what I'm saying, I
and
mean
or
not
religious
Americans.
in nature?
I meant people around him. It's not gonna be his parents that tell him, "Oh, we named you after the devil," and they're gonna be like, he's gonna be like, and
Even
they're
though
not even religious.
the parents may not do that, but the grandparents could be religious. Other people, even non-religious people, may even be like, "Oh, Lucifer, oh, the devil." Like they may
Whose
say
child
that
is
just out of
this? Whose child is it?
Dan and whatever his wife name is
Exactly.
that I can't
Dan and his wife would like to name their
Mandy
child
and Mindy.
Lucifer. Now, after that point, there should be no other questions by you, me, or anyone else. That's what they want to name it. We don't have to like it. Lucifer, Lil Luce, he ain't got to like it, but that's his name. And until he's able to go about changing it for whatever reason. And again, he may not even change it. Like, just because somebody said they don't like my name, it don't mean I would change it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I I wouldn't dare name my damn child Lucifer. But I would support somebody's right to do so. Like, I wouldn't even put them through all that shit. Like, ban the name. That's like, you know, banning Jamera Terrarius.
Where, where are you finding these names of kids that are not know or not named these things?
Well, whatever. It's, you know, some stuff close on that. Kenderaquan, Fondrica. You know, it's a washer and dry. They twins. All that. They. You think if I was a teacher and as washer dryer, y'all finna get the hell out of my classroom. I promise you that. I ain't finna teach y'all because ain't nothing I can teach y'all because your parents failed you already. Washer and dryer. But I support their mama and their daddy's right to name them washer and dryer if that's what y'all want. You feel me?
Yeah.
No, you don't. But anyway, that is definitely what's up. I'm glad that they won that right. The UK can't tell me, the Queen probably didn't like it, but guess where she at? She with the man that signed the loan. They hanging out. You
What?
feel me?
Wait.
I don't know. I mean, it's true.
They're both not living. Yes, that is true.
Yes, that is
I,
true.
I, I don't. Yeah. Whatever.
It don't matter. They in it. He said he want the pie in the sky for real. Mm. Yep. I'm probably going where the queen is going, or where she resides currently. I want a pie
I'm
in
not gonna
the.
judge you, so I'm not gonna say.
Yeah. I, I,
I'm not gonna
I
judge
will
you.
be
I'm not
judged
gonna
by
judge you.
those. I will be judged by many. I ain't naming my damn child. Maximilian was something I would name my son, though. I like that. I like Maximilian.
I think Max is a traditional name, common name,
No, no, Maximilian isn't. Maxwell
normal
is where
name,
Max comes from.
normal name.
We can call my
Whatever.
son Millie.
Anything else about this
A
you want
milli,
to
a
talk about?
milli, a milli, a milli, a milli. No, I'm good. I wanted to do the other one. I was dead set against that one on that one. I didn't even see the other. But anyway,
Brahma Night.
yeah.
Go ahead, say what you gotta say then.
No, that's
You got
weird
me.
though. Like his I mean, his kids are like, what the, these are your children. According to
He
his
said are
daughter,
evil.
they were conceived in love. What happened? Now I know for a fact that this dude is a jerk because I was on Clubhouse one night. Shout out Clubhouse. I ain't been on there in a minute. But and we had there was a chick in one of the groups that Mr. Wack 100 is a part of, and she was going in on the industry, and she let I found out some terrible things about Mary J. Blige, but it's okay. I don't judge anyone. But Brian McKnight was an asshole. Like the things that she said. I'm not even gonna go into that because but I know for a fact that this is true because the person that said it was definitely who she said she was, and so he's always been a jerk. So cheating on his wife and doing the things that he did, he conceived these kids with someone that he married, and then now to talk about them as evil, as he has other kids with someone else.
Yep.
So that lady need to be concerned uh, as well because these there cannot be you cannot have a child without that being a part of you,
But
which
you
is
thought it
one.
was normal when he changed his name to match the new baby name, so the new baby can be called Brian McKnight and it be Junior instead of his original Brian McKnight Junior.
Well, I mean, that is. I mean that
I guess you
that's your
learned a
name,
lesson. I guess you learned
right?
that was
But
you know
it's just weird to talk about your. He told his child to get off his page with the negativity of we're your children. You conceive me out of you conceive us out of love. The Bible says honor thy mother and thy father, and it's a little hard, I would suppose. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is my why? What could I have done? Like, we don't know what them kids did to him though. Like, they might have spent all his money, did all this, but it
But
couldn't have
he's
been
doing a lot for
enough.
those other kids. Remember, like we talked
Right.
about this before. He apparently the daughter was going to the same college as the stepdaughter, and he was paying for the stepdaughter to live in a house or off campus or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
basically housing board or whatever. I'm sorry, room. But yet wasn't doing the same thing for his biological child. So
That's wild for real though.
he does the most.
But I really don't understand that. But yeah, I just wanted to want the people to understand that it's very important how your children see you, and that they will hold that with them for their entire lives. And if you choose
Mm-hmm.
to say these things, like whether you're joking, like I don't know if it's a joke, like it just seems like it's an awful joke or something. Like there's no way anybody could feel about their children like that. But we don't know the situation, the full situation, but we do
No.
know that Brian McKnight is a complete jerky douche. So let's just let's just go there with that. And he is abusive, and he's disrespectful and
Let's just say
disgusting.
allegedly, because
I'm
I
gonna
don't know
say
if
I
he's been
know.
charged.
He want to come at
I
me.
don't know if he's been charged.
I don't know if he's
Or
been charged, but he's abusive. That you don't have to be charged to be abusive.
allegedly, if they're not cited that by the court of law, then everything has to be alleged.
Mm.
It's not for
Yes,
fact. It's not
it
a
is
fact.
actually, but okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's
Anyway,
allegedly.
so what has a book, television show, or movie taught me? So I'm still watching Fire Country. I have caught up completely. Um, and something that I never knew existed. Of course, I grew up in Alabama. I'm so used to actual tornadoes. Um, that's just a common occurrence that happens in especially in North Alabama. It just happens. I
Hmm.
did not know, and I wasn't aware that they had like fire tornadoes, where like it's not only is it like destroying things with the speed and everything, it's catching things on fire. Apparently, it normally happens with wildfires.
Fire, yeah, forest fire thing.
Um, and two of the, I guess, most recognizable ones. One happened in California. They said car fire, and then one happened in Colorado. I'm sorry, not Colorado, California and Nevada. And these were all fairly recent, like within the last 5 years or so.
But you gotta
Within the last 5 years, five
think
6 years.
about it being in the valley though, in those areas like that, like here, tornadoes come through here and dip down,
Mm-hmm.
because it's it's the valley area, and when a fire, from what I've seen of fire, I've never the only real time I've actually seen a house fire is
Mm-hmm.
when I was working for ADT, and they had set this house on fire as to the class at the fire department was graduating, I guess, or something like that, or a test or whatever they do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And fire creates its own wind. It's why it's magical. It has its own essence. Now, the embers, what generate the fire, is spread by the wind that's out there. But once that blaze gets to going, like whoosh,
Yeah.
whoosh, it's a sound. Like I wouldn't have thought fire had a sound other
Oh
than
yes, because it's
other than
crunchy.
right, other than the wood, the wood
Yeah.
itself. But the actual blaze, like I said, it has its own whew, whew, kind of
But
thing.
you can, but you, if you ever like grilled and had a flame or anything, like you
Well,
hear that it like it's a noise.
but I'm saying when it's massive, like that's a controllable fire. A bonfire is something more like what I'm kind of thinking now. So when you
Okay.
bonfire, like you got the stuff that's on fire, they got the wood crackling underneath, but you got that wind that's created by that fire. But yeah, I get what you're saying. So yeah, on a level, but I can imagine a little grill fire ain't gonna start a fire tornado like something in the
Oh
wild,
yeah.
like that. Cause then it's still spreading, and then it catching another tree, another brush, anything that's dry, grass, whatever. Like fire tornadoes probably would be
Yeah.
scary. I would hate to see that.
I know. I was went well. Like I said, I was watching the episode, and you know, they were like, "Oh, that's a fire tornado," which apparently they they can call it several things, like a fire nado, fire swirl, fire twister.
Oh Lord, what the?
But they were saying that like that's what happens when the fire gets so intense that it basically creates like a tornado effect. Obviously, it's not
Mm-hmm.
coming from the clouds or anything like that, so it's not necessarily a true tornado, but it does have the same, whirling speed and all of that stuff and destruction that would come with that, with the additional layer of the fact that it's a fire. So,
Yeah.
because you think about it this way, like you see a tornado coming, and like if you're in the path of it or whatever, once you get out of the path of it, you're free. But when it's a tornado, fire tornado, even if you're in the path of it, you're gonna still get fire. Like you're not escaping the fire.
Exactly.
You just don't have, you no longer have the tornado when it passes,
It's
but now you have to still worry about the fire.
that is scary.
I know. And I was like, I'm glad I'm not in an area that, knock on some wood, that doesn't have like, fire nados. But yeah, so that's what I learned
Fire
from
NATO.
the lovely fire country.
Weird show, I guess.
Anyway, episode 56 is in the books. This is your girl
56.
Spicy K. Yeah, I said 56.
I know.
This is your girl Spicy K.
And it's your girl TK.
As we're
Peace.
ops, we're telling it all, and we are out of here.